Hi there guys, this is Nikhil from GreedyTech and these are some quick tips and tricks on Redmi Note 3. So guys, this is the grey version of the Redmi Note 3 with 16 GB of internal storage, and the tips and tricks that I show in this video do apply to other variant and other Xiaomi devices running MIUI 7. So guys, let's get started. So firstly, we'll start with the lock screen, and this is how the lock screen looks. So you can simply swipe the lock screen left to open camera quickly, and you can basically take pictures even when your device is locked. So when you take pictures when the device is locked, you will be able to see only the images that you just took. So unless you unlock the device, you won't be able to see your previous images. Let's go back. Now this is the lock screen, and you can simply swipe the lock screen up to enter the password, and if you don't have a password, it will simply unlock the device. And if you have configured your fingerprint scanner, then you can unlock the device by simply placing the finger on the fingerprint reader. There you have it. I'll show you how to configure it in a minute. So for now, let's go back to the lock screen. So guys, in the home screen, you can simply press and hold the home button to toggle the flash or to simply turn on the flash. Let me just do that once again. So simply press and hold the home button and you can see the flash turned on. And it'll just be turned on for a few seconds and it'll turn off. So if you want to keep the flash turned on, press and hold the home button and now press the power button once. And now the flash will be turned on until you press the power button once again. So there you have it. So let's just unlock the device for now. So this is our home screen, the default home launcher of MIUI. So in this default home launcher, we don't have an app drawer, so all the apps get thrown onto the home screen. If you don't like this view, we can always install other launchers, and my personal preference would be always TSF Shell Launcher. So let me just try to install that. So guys, this is the app, and by the end of the video, you will know why this is my favorite launcher. So guys, going on next, these are your home screens, and if you want to add more home screens or edit the layout, just pinch the home screen and you'll get additional options. So down at the bottom, we have the option to move applications, add new widgets, change wallpaper, and even change the transition effects. So let me just change the last one, or the transition effects. So I can choose anything that I want. So this looks good. So that's pretty much what you can do with your default home launcher. So you can simply swipe it down to bring down the notification bar, and that's pretty much it. I personally don't use the stock home launcher. So let's move on. At the top, we have a bar with additional information. It's called as status bar, and when you pull it down, you get your notification panel. So over here, we can see all our notifications, and I can simply swipe them to dismiss them. And in the notification area, I can swipe left or right, and on the right, we have this notification toggles. We don't just have this 9 toggles, we can actually scroll through the toggles. So before we go to the notification toggles, let me show you how to take a screenshot on Redmi Note 3. So guys, you need to press volume down and power button both at the same time. 3, 2, 1. There you have it. So this is how you take a screenshot, and automatically the screenshot will be saved in a folder called as screenshots in pictures in your internal storage. So you can check that by going into gallery. So these are all the screenshots that I've taken. Next, we have something called as one-handed mode. As you can see, I can't reach the entire screen using my thumb while I'm holding my phone like this, and I'm lazy to use the other hand. So I can simply swipe the capacitive buttons like this from home screen to left or right, and the screen size shrinks. So now the screen size is just 4 inches and I can easily access any part of the screen with my thumb. So to come out of the one-handed mode, I can simply swipe the navigation buttons once again like this to enlarge the screen. If I swipe the navigation buttons to the left, it will shrink the phone to the left side, and if I swipe the phone to the right, it will simply move the screen to the right. We can also change the screen size to 3.5 inches, 4 inches or 4.5 inches. So for that, simply press this gear button, and from here we can change the setting. Now let's come out of the one-handed mode. Now let's go back to the notification toggles. Just in case if you have a hard time taking a screenshot using the volume down and power button, we have a toggle just for that. So if I scroll down, this is the toggle, screenshot. Just select that and it will take the screenshot instantly. In the notification toggles, we have something called as MI drop. So here it is. It is basically something like a share it app for Xiaomi devices running MIUI 7. Next we have a toggle for torch. Next we have something called as read mode. So if you are maybe browsing the web or reading a PDF on your mobile, just enable that and you will see a difference in the display. So this is how the reading mode looks. As you can see, the whites have been completely changed and maybe it looks more like a tungsten color perhaps. So this is how the reading mode looks. And the best thing is that it is highly configurable. So if I press and hold the reading mode, I get to the settings. From here I can choose to enable reading mode for all apps or enable the reading mode for a few specific apps, say for example Google Chrome, Evernote and some other apps. So as you can see, as of now only the browser has been selected. Now if I go back and select selected apps, now whenever I open the default stock browser app, then only the read mode will be enabled. So that's something really nice I miss in other devices. So let's go to the notification toggle once again. Next we have something called as do not disturb mode, DND. We can also configure it to be enabled automatically based on the time of the day. It is basically like a silent mode where you won't get any interruptions for calls or messages. Next we have something called as guest mode. So once you enable the guest mode, all your calls, contacts, call logs will be hidden. So if you are giving your phone to maybe an unknown person or your friend and you don't like him to be snooping around in your phone, then you can enable the guest mode and he won't be able to see all your messages or contacts. Let me just disable the guest mode now. So guys, if we go to the phone, we can see that I have some call logs, and if I go to messaging, you can see that I have some messages. So guys, next we have a toggle for buttons. So these are your capacitive buttons, and if you enable this toggle, the capacitive buttons won't work. So this is a very good option while you're playing games. So maybe when you're playing Asphalt 8, you might accidentally press this capacitive buttons. So to prevent that, you can simply enable this toggle. So it's called buttons. And now if I disable that, the capacitive buttons will work once again. Next we have a toggle to lock applications. So this is the toggle, and if I just click it, I need to enter the phone password and assign a pattern. And now the lock is turned on. I have enabled the lock for the browser app. So let me just lock an application. So choose apps to lock, enter the pattern, and I will lock authenticate. And now let's try to open the app, and it's asking me for the password. And now it works. And that's pretty much about the toggles. So you have this gear button down below. If you click that, you'll go to settings. And apart from that, you have this nice widget for the music player, always in your notification area. So guys, let's check out themes. So guys, this is the themes app, and these are all the themes that are currently available in their online repository. So to change a theme, simply select the theme that you want, and you need to click this download button. Then it will download the theme and it will ask you to apply the theme. Before that, you need to sign into the MI account. So let me just do that. So guys, I have just signed into my MI account. Let's press continue, and now I am downloading this particular theme. So once it is downloaded, I'll get a notification saying that it's ready to apply. So if we go to offline, these are the themes that come pre-installed. So let me just change the theme to the new one that we just downloaded. And it is that simple to change the theme. It will basically change all the aspects of the phone, your icons, wallpapers, lock screen style, and maybe even settings. So as you can see, it has changed the background of settings panel. And this is our new lock screen. So we have shortcuts for phone dialer, camera, and messaging app. So let me just revert back to the default theme. So guys, not all the apps are compatible with every version of MIUI. So be a little picky, just apply the theme, and if everything looks fine, stick to it. So guys, going on next, we have something called as security app. So we have basic cleaner, which cleans up all your unnecessary files, ads, cache. In the security app, we have data usage. From here, we can restrict apps from having access to the mobile data. So if we go to data usage stats, we can check the apps that have used the internet. If we go to restrict data usage, we can see a list of user apps, and all these apps have access to internet via mobile data and Wi-Fi. And if we swipe left, we'll see all the system apps that have access to mobile data. All the system apps have access to Wi-Fi by default. So just for example, I don't want to use YouTube or anyone else to use YouTube over mobile data. So I'll just disable this option and YouTube won't work on mobile data. Apart from that, we can also set usage limits from here. So guys, let's go to settings now. If you want to change anything related to SIM cards, then you need to select the first option, SIM cards. From here, you can enable data usage, change your network type, and do anything that's related to your SIM card. Next, if we go to text size, we can change the text size of the entire phone just from this particular option. So let me just show you how XXL looks. So this is how it looks. Let me just apply the text size or font size. And basically everything has increased in its size. So if this phone is going to be used by some older people who have problem reading smaller text, you can set it to XXL. Next, if we swipe right, we can also see changes in the sizes of these icons. Let me just go back to small for the default value. Next, we have something called as light mode. So once we enable that, the entire UI of the phone will turn into very simple UI mode. Next, we have something called as child mode. So you can simply enable few applications for child mode. And once the child mode is enabled, only these applications will be accessible. So you can't access any of the other applications. Let me just go to home screen. Now as you can see, we have access to only 3 apps. So if you're going to give this phone to a kid, maybe to play games, just enable the child mode and give it to him. So in that way, all your confidential information or sensitive information will be safe and hidden. So to come out of this child mode, you can either enter the password, or also you can use the fingerprint scanner to unlock the phone or come out of the child mode. So now I'll show you how to configure the fingerprint scanner to unlock your phone as well as child mode. For that, you need to go to lock screen and password. Now select password fingerprint and you need to confirm the PIN. Just in case if you don't have a PIN or a password set up, it will ask you to set up a password. And now if you want to unlock the device using the fingerprint scanner, make sure you enable this toggle. And if you want to unlock the child mode using the fingerprint scanner, enable this toggle. And for some reason, I was not able to use the file explorer feature. We'll get back to that later. So guys, as you can see, I have 4 fingerprints already registered. Out of the box, there won't be anything, and you can simply press this button, add fingerprint, and enter your password. And now place your finger on the fingerprint reader for it to scan. Let me just do that. So this is a funny thing. It first shows you a small circle, and while you keep placing your finger, the circle becomes bigger and it will scan a much larger portion of your finger. So there you have it. So from here you can also turn off the lock or change the password. This is the camera app, and if we swipe left, we get all these filters with live preview, and if we swipe right, we get additional modes and also option to go to the settings. So in the settings, we have the option to save location information in the images and also save images directly to the SD card. So from now on, all the images will be directly saved to the SD card instead of the internal storage. Next, if we have this option enabled, we can use the default camera app to scan QR codes too. So we have some additional tweaks over here like contrast, saturation and sharpness. So guys, I missed out a few things in the security app. So this is the security app, and if you go to battery, we have something called as battery profiles, and by default you'll get the first 3 battery profiles. Let me just show you what a battery profile looks like. So you basically enable or disable Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and other stuff to improve your battery life. The best thing is that you can switch these battery profiles based on battery saver or based on the time, and we can even turn off and turn on the phone at regular intervals of time using the fourth option. Next, if we go to permissions, we have auto start. So these are all the apps that are currently installed in the phone, and by default Facebook will be enabled. So every time your device reboots, Facebook application starts automatically. So I don't want that to happen, so I simply disabled it. Next we have permissions. So from here we can see all the apps that are currently installed in our phone and the list of permissions each app is asking for. So as you can see, this is the Facebook application and it has access to camera, record audio, get location information and so on. I don't want Facebook to have my location information, so from here I can disable it. If I swipe left, I can see all the permissions in my phone, and if I select any particular permission, I can see the list of apps that have access to that particular permission. So to edit any of these, I need to first enable the permissions. So to change the permissions of the app, I need to first enable this toggle. So enable permission manager. And now I can change the permissions. It's that simple. And finally guys, if you go to settings and then select additional settings and then select battery, you have something called as system animations. Just in case if you feel that your phone is slower, you can disable all the animations and thereby increase performance. So just select this option and select hide system animations and reboot your device. So once you disable the system animations, you won't be able to see this sliding effect every time you select an option. And finally guys, if you go to installed apps and select defaults, from here we can change the default launchers, messaging app and all the default apps just from one place. So I want to change my default home launcher. For that I need to select launcher and I'll select TSF Shell Launcher. And now when I press home button, it will take me to TSF Shell Launcher. As we have enabled permission manager, every time an app asks for a permission, it will ask our permission. So guys, this is how the TSF Shell Launcher looks. These are all your home screens. This is another view. This is a 3D clock with an alarm built into it. And this is the app drawer. So we can even change the transitions. Just like this. And we have the small bubble over here. If I swipe up, I can simply change the home screen easily. So guys, this is the recent panel and you might not be able to see this preview mode out of the box. So you'll be looking at something like this. These are the app icons and you can close all these apps by simply pressing this X button, and if you pinch out, the app icons will be converted to app previews. So now if you want to close any app, you can simply swipe it up and the app is closed. And if you want to lock any application, you can simply swipe it down and it will be locked. As you can see, there is a lock button over here, and now when I press the cross button or X button, all the apps except the locked applications will be closed. Now if I want to unlock it, I can simply swipe it down to unlock it. And now when I press the cross button, even that application will be closed. So there you have it guys, these are some quick tips and tricks for your Redmi Note 3. Do let me know if you found this video to be helpful. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel to see more videos just like this.